What is up everyone, my name is Cam Kawati and welcome to my channel. Recently I've had a couple of questions on my Twitch about what I use to make my camera effects. Oh god. Oh god. This is not a good look for me. Why would that be? Does anyone know? And I thought this was a good time to make a video about it and about a plugin that I think is one of the best plugins that you can use with OBS. This goes without saying, but this will not work with Streamlabs OBS. I am sorry. With all that out of the way, let's go and jump right into talking about the plugin StreamFX. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to Google and type in StreamFX. From here, it should be the top link. Click on this, then go to download. As of this video, OBS version 28 has just been released, so there is a difference between the pre-28 and the post-28 plugin. You need to be careful that you do the right one for your OBS version. Once you're sure you have the right version, go down to the downloads and click on whichever one works for you. For me, I'm on Windows, so I'm going to click the EXE because it's the easiest. Once you have the file downloaded, go through with the installer if you're using the EXE. The first capability of StreamFX that we're going to look at is the shader filter. What you do to use it is you right click on your camera source, click filters, and then right click again, click add and click shader. You can give it whatever name you want just to make it easier to remember. Once you click OK, you'll see a menu here. What you want to do first is you want to go to where the file is and you want to click browse. I'm using the latest version of StreamFX, which is an alpha version. I've noticed it doesn't include the shaders like the previous versions of StreamFX did. If you have one of the previous versions of StreamFX, you can click browse and it'll automatically take you to the folder with all of the shaders. If you don't, you can download one of the previous versions of StreamFX from the website. You can download the raw files and then you can find the shaders from there. If you are like me and you are using the alpha version, once you've downloaded the raw files from the StreamFX website, you go to data, go to examples, and then from here this will look the same no matter if you are using the alpha version like me and browsing the raw files, or if you are using the built-in ones that would come with the older versions of StreamFX. From here you can go to shaders and then filter, and you can see a list of effects here. Some of the ones that I like to use are bulge pinch, which gives you this kind of look here. Make sure you click the refresh options just to make sure that it has updated with all of the most recent settings. Otherwise, sometimes you won't be able to toggle the settings. And then you can go from here and you can go and you can move the bulge around up and down. You can also change the size and make yourself even reverse if you want to. This is a fun one to use. Another one that I like to use is the pixelated one. This one works pretty well out of the box and it makes you look like you're an 8-bit image. That's one of the capabilities I use most with StreamFX, but there are a number of other ones that can be used. You can see from here there's also the blur function. This unfortunately does not work with the alpha, for me at least, but it does work with the older versions, and as soon as they update the alpha to a beta, it should work. There's also the upscaling feature as well as the virtual green screen. There's also the color grading feature, which allows you to have more control over the color grading of your scene. And then finally, one of the other capabilities that I use quite often is the source mirror option. What the source mirror option is it's a function that allows you to replicate other sources without using any additional system resources. So to use this, you go to your sources box, you right click, you click add, and then you find source mirror from the menu. You can create your new source mirror and give it whatever name you want. Click OK, and then you'll have a drop down which will allow you to select from all of the sources which one you want to duplicate. So for example, if I want to copy this, I've now made a second camera scene. However, normally when you make a second camera scene, you're going to be using additional system resources. This way you are not, so it is a much more efficient way to do it without taxing your computer. So those are some of the features of the new StreamFX plugin. Obviously, since it's in alpha mode for the new version of OBS, it is a bit limited. However, once it reaches the beta version and successive versions, it will be much more capable in its functionality. It also offers a number of additional encoders, which can allow you to encode your stream and or recordings more efficiently. Definitely worth a look. So we're here in version 27 of OBS, and all of the features that I want to show you are all hidden within the filter options. So if we go to our camera scene here and we right click on filters, you can see there's a list of ones to show you. The first one is 3D transform, which, as it implies, it allows you to treat a 2D image as if it would be 3D. So you can see from the filter that I can modify this as if it is a 3D image. This can be handy for certain widgets that you can use to make an almost 3D effect. It can be quite a nice filter to use. The next filter that we have is the blur filter, which is exactly what it sounds like. It can allow you to blur certain elements. This can be really useful for designing your overlays. One of the things I like to use this for is for any background elements. I like to blur it and give it a nice soft edge to it. The next filter is denoising, which will reduce or remove some of the camera noise. This can be especially present if you are using something like a web camera, but it can also be present in other cameras as well. This can allow you to have a finer image with less noise on the screen. The dynamic mask filter is a more niche use, but it can be an incredibly powerful tool. If you've used the normal mask filter, you know that it allows you to use, let's say, a certain element and shape another image using that first element. The dynamic mask is the same idea, however, it can be for animated images instead. For example, at the moment I have a disco ball image, and you can see that I'm using this as a mask in the background. The second last on the list is the upscaling filter. This can allow you to add a little bit of extra quality to the image to make it look like it's a higher resolution image. You can see even when I click it, it starts to stretch the image out. It can be definitely worth it again if you're using something like a web camera. And finally, the last on the list is virtual green screen. If you've ever used a program like Zoom, you would probably be aware of this already. It can apply a green screen effect even though you don't have a green screen, and the results may vary. So you can see that I've clicked the filter and it has actually done an amazing job, all things considered. I don't have any green screen behind me. There is a little bit of fringing when I move my hands around or if I move my head too fast, but that's pretty amazing, all things considered. So these are some of the things that you can see with the full working version of StreamFX, and hopefully very soon with version 28 of OBS. All in all, I think this is one of the best plugins that you can use for OBS to supercharge your content, to make nicer effects, and just all around it gives you a lot of functionality. If you have any other things that you would like to see for OBS, why don't you leave them in the comments below? And if you liked what you saw, why don't you like and subscribe to see more of this in the future?